Today we play golf.
Let me show you how we do it in the pros.
Welcome to Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
I never miss with the 7-iron.
A conversation with some of the most interesting innovators and entrepreneurs behind the biggest names in golf.
My friends were the golf clubs. I lived on the golf course. I lived on the driving range.
From pro talk
You should learn something from each and every single round you play in.
to fun from on and off the green.
Why would you play golf if you don't play it for money?
Just let me put the ball in the hole.
This is Behind the Golf Brand Podcast with Paul Liberatore. Behind the Golf Brand Podcast is sponsored by On Point, the revolutionary three-dimensional domed golf ball marker. On Point provides alignment recognition as small as a degree of inaccuracy from the planned course of the putt face angle. Endorsed by Jim Furyk, U.S. Open champion and 17-time PGA Tour winner. On Point alignment technology has been proven to increase putting performance and help lower your score. Visit onpointgolf.us and be sure to use code GA10 for a 10% discount. On Point, make more putts.
What's up, guys? This is Paul from Golfers Authority. I don't know what episode this is, shocker, but I do know who I'm interviewing today. Today, I have my good friend Tom. Tom is the co-founder of Nexbelt. Nexbelt pretty much makes the best belts around. The technology is crazy. I started working with them about, like a year and a half ago. Just met on Instagram and went on a date. Just kidding. When we met on Instagram, we started talking and finds out he's the co-founder. I didn't even know that. And then we were working together and they're a great brand and I can't wait to tell you more about them. So without further ado, this is my friend Tom from Nexbelt. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Paul. Hello, everybody.
So where are you right now? Are you at home or at your office?
I am in my office, enclosed, shut the door, and I'm in my office.
Where are you guys located at?
Rancho Cucamonga, California. There's a place called Cucamonga.
Wasn't that in like that movie? What's that called?
Yes. Fridays.
Yeah.
Friday, yes. Actually, they didn't film in Rancho Cucamonga. When they found out they wanted to film here, the city said no. So they had to film in, I think, San Dimas nearby.
Oh, gosh. What was that one movie from the 90s, too, where like it was the guy that was like a caveman? Remember that?
Oh,
what's it called? It was like the 90s.
Fraser.
Yeah, Brandon Fraser was in it. Wasn't that where they were from or somewhere around there? I don't remember.
I don't remember that one. I missed that one.
In case you guys don't know what Rancho Cucamonga is, it is like LA, kind of. It's like in the basin.
35 miles east of Los Angeles. Like it's on the way to Vegas or to Palm Springs.
Yeah, so like you kind of, if you're driving in, then it's like kind of north of the freeway, right? Like north of the freeway to Palm Springs.
North of 10 freeway.
If you're going to Disneyland, you kind of pass it but it's like not like close to the freeway.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's like Arizona information because that's the way we go. We take I-10 to Disneyland, but Disneyland's closed. So we're not doing that this year. But so I guess my first question, and this is kind of the first question I asked you almost 2 years ago, is like, I always say, what's your story, right? Like, tell me like what is Nexbelt? How'd you come up with that idea? How'd you start this brand? That kind of thing.
Yeah, it was, I'm half Vietnamese and my brother-in-law, who's married to my sister, went to the home country on vacation. I didn't go that year. And,
what year was this?
I want to say 2009 or so. My girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, she couldn't make the trip. And I was thinking, I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks without her.
Let's go. Let's go to Vietnam 2 weeks by myself. The beaches.
So basically, when they were on this island and they got off the boat, and there's a vendor sitting there selling a bunch of stuff, and there's the ratchet system. And Eddie looked at it and he was really impressed. He brought it back and he says, "Check this out. Can we start a company doing this together?" And technically, we've been together as a business group for 25 years. But before that, we owned Extreme Custom Trailers. We were the largest custom boat trailer manufacturer in the United States before we sold it.
Oh my gosh!
So we were kind of semi-retired at the time, and so we were looking for another opportunity. So he brought that back. I looked at it. Great idea, but there's lacking in quality of the leather, quality of the construction, quality of the ratchet system, and all that stuff. So we went and sat down and we redesigned some stuff on there. I got a couple patents out of it. Where we designed the go in, where it has hidden ball marker, and we had a buckle that looks like a normal buckle, because most of those buckles, they just look like hideous blobs of
metal and
front.
pewter or whatever they make them out of.
They're not very design oriented, especially for the Western culture. So we did that. And Eddie, I wanted to, at the time we were like, which way to go? And I wanted more like towards the dress belt stuff and go after the market, do the 1995 thing. And Eddie's like, no, I'm the
You mean
golfer.
like big shirts, like hypercolor and stuff?
Yeah. So Eddie was like, hey, his passion is golfing. I mean, I got to get you out here and he can take you golfing at his country club. You'll love it. It's a Red Hill Country Club. And he goes, my passion is golfing. Can we do something with that? So we stuck with that. And we went out and did our own sales in the beginning. But then we started saying, this is really tough. So we got a bunch of, started reaching out to golf reps. And we just grew it. We have about 40 reps in the United States, golf courses and all that stuff right now.
All right, so let's rewind. So, okay, it's 2009. Let's go back further, right?
Okay.
I didn't know this about you. I thought, he likes Nexbelt. First of all, if you guys are watching the video, this guy's in his 50s, right? Like, who believes that? He told me, guess how old I am. And I'm like, I don't know, like 40s. He's like, no, man, I'm 5 or something?
55.
Yeah, dude, he look like he's 55, right? So, mad props. I look like I'm 70, so that's okay. And I should have shaved today, but I don't look as old. But you did it. So really, you're like a serial entrepreneur, right? Because I didn't know this, honestly. It's the first time I've heard this. So you guys had a custom trailer company, right? For how many years did you have that? You and your brother-in-law?
Like 13 years. When we started.
You started, so like, is your background in like business or something or what?
No. Actually,
what's your background? Like art?
Of course, yeah.
I was a physical education teacher.
Marketing and advertising. I graduated from Cal State Fullerton with a degree in that, but I went straight into loans because that was like 1989. There was, the depression, the recession was going on. And all the advertising agencies were.
Yeah, you got a real job.
They were doing exactly.
A real job you didn't want.
But
we all did that. It's okay.
I hated doing the loan business thing where we're charging people 30% rates. Like, oh my god.
Yeah, but you're making good money, dude. Loan guys make a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I was just a grunt.
Oh, you're just a gopher. Yeah.
Yes. So
did you work for a bank or something?
It was like a company called Norwest Financial. They got bought out, I think, by Wells Fargo or something. Back. But yeah, that was just like misery for me. It was.
You're like, it was bought out by Charles Keating, so.
Yeah. Yeah, Charles. It was during that time period.
Was it? With Western Savings and Loan. Everyone who's listening to this podcast is like under the age of 40s and be like, what are they talking about? But it's okay. It's a guy who like did a bunch of fraud back in the day.
Big time. But basically, yeah. And I remember I got fired from that company because I was working at a new location. The old location, every night you had to put money into a safe. New location didn't have a safe. You would take the money out of one desk and put it into another desk that had a lock on it. I was like, this is stupid.
That's dumb.
Why can't we just lock it in this desk here? Well, that's a policy of the company. So my manager was on vacation that week, so I had to run the place. And we were kicking butt. You had loans. It
was like payday loans? I thought it was like house loans, dude.
They did seconds, and they did they did financing for small shops that want to sell bicycles and whatever it is. So
it's a pawn shop. Admit you were for a pawn shop.
They did pawn shops also. But I was kicking ass, and I always had this problem. When I would leave that place, I would forget that I'd lock it.
Oh, I'd freak out.
I'd drive back after being on the freeway for like 10, 15 minutes, check it out. Oh, it's right. That week, I was driving off. I was like, you know what? I forgot to do this. I said, anytime you do this every single time. And I said to myself, what are they going to do? Fire you if something happens? You're winning the loan contest this month. Monday, I come in, somebody had taken money out of the drawer. And the three people had the keys. Me, the manager who was on vacation, and the people that cleaned the place. And,
well, was that you? Because you're like, why would I steal money from a company that I already work for?
Yeah, it was $220. I said, I'll put the $220 back in your guy's pocket. They said, no.
Oh, no, you broke a policy.
Yeah, so I got fired for that. So I was looking for a job for a while, and Eddie, my business partner.
I call him Fast Eddie. Let's call him Fast Eddie in this conversation.
Yeah, we'll call him Fast Eddie because he designed that.
Really? We'll get to the Fast Eddie part because this is like the coolest thing on the planet. Like for gadget, I love this thing. This is brilliant.
Yeah. So he came to me one day and said I was trying to get in the pharmaceutical industry, and he said, you know what? My dad owns a boat dealership. And
was he married to your sister yet, or was he like?
Yeah, he was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was. And they were tired of the ineptness of the company that building trailers. And I said, I don't know anything about trailers. And he said, I don't either, but I think we could start one. So the first thing we built was in his garage, which the irony is here. Our first business, we started in the garage.
So they all start.
Yeah, we did these boat casters to hold the boat to move around the shop. When we started Nexbelt, we started in the garage also in his
That's where I
garage.
started. That's where I'm at right now, my garage.
Yeah. So that's how it started. And I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how to weld. I didn't know about anything regarding that.
You're like, I knew anything about boats.
No, yeah. I didn't know anything about boats. He did. But we borrowed $26,000 from my mom, and we went and bought the equipment, rented a shop, and our goal was to pay her back in a couple of years. And the goal was Eddie would work for free, and I would pay myself $150 a week
To pay your bills, yeah.
to pay my bills. I was living with a roommate at the time, and after first week, I was like, "This is no way this is going to work. I can't take any more money." Because we didn't have any major accounts yet.
Yeah, no money coming in the business.
Yeah, so I didn't pay myself that year after that. Well, I took another $150 around Christmas to buy Christmas presents. But yeah, we started just learning, and I started learning more about customer service, how to deal with people. Because since I didn't know how to do a lot of this stuff, if we made a mistake, we bent over backwards to fix it for people.
That's how you're supposed to do it.
And it's just little things that happen along the way, and we were just flying blind. But you
learned, right? Trial and error. Like there's no better way.
You start learning all the mistakes that people are doing. It applies to the belt, what we're doing now too. People in the trailer business, the axles were underrated. Everything was built to the cheapest possible, and you had warranty problems. And we looked at it, and when we followed what other people were doing, there was nothing but mistakes. So when we started this belt company, initially we followed what people are doing. And we looked at it and said, no, this is not what we're about. This is not what the construction should be. So, if you were one of the first person that bought our belt then 10 years ago and look at what's now, the change has been dramatic in how we design the products. We have patents on our own stuff. We don't follow what people are doing out there. 99% of the people out there, it's just taking someone has from China and going, copy that for me and just throw a logo on it for me. And that's what they're doing. That's not what we're about. We sit there and we design our own mechanism and all that stuff. We have patents for all this other stuff. The only thing you can't patent is the ratchet system itself. I know there's some companies that have that. And I think what my patent attorney said is that regarding the patent office, it's like one step above the DMV.
Oh, yeah. I got friends who have trademark applications in for 2 years over dumb stuff. Yeah. Well, and you're at their will. Like you just go for the ride. Like you can just buy some people to get in early because you don't know how long it's going to take.
Yeah. Yeah, those guys are overburdened, and the left hand doesn't know what the right hand doing. But, what we do with our belts is that we just go and make the best thing out there possible for the price. And we have some other stuff. I talked to you about the Roland Thomas brand that we have where it's Italian leather that's being made in USA here, which is, we had to train them to make it the way we want it to be made. So it's not something we just slap a name on there. We're not a shipping warehouse where a lot of these companies are.
Like a crappy drop shipper is getting stuff from China and being like, oh, look, buy this belt. It's only X dollars. It's like you guys are a real company and a real brand with your own real products. And yeah, you use some technologies that are available, but like it's a whole other level. It's not just cheap stuff from.
Yeah, we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on molds. You look at our amount of buckles and designs we have, we spend a lot of money on that stuff. And we do a lot of money on testing. And it's just, we have a lot of creative ideas. Sometimes it's so me and Eddie butt heads saying, what's going to come out next? What should we do on this stuff?
Yeah.
For the longest time, we used to fight over keepers. That little...
what's that? The clicky thing?
Keeper, that part on the buckle. Oh, yeah. I want to show you something here. See how twisted this buckle is? Can you see?
Yeah. What happened?
A customer sent that to us. She said, I did this when I was drunk. I don't know how I did it. We warranted
keep it on your desk. You're like, oh my God.
We warranted it for them. So not a problem. Because it showed that our new design of having the...
You're like, thank you for showing us this. Like, you're doing the biggest favor in the world.
Yeah, we put set screws on there. Nobody does set screws in the industry. We're the first to do that.
What do they do? Like, just like pop it into a bracket?
Most people just use pins, and pins will back out over time. And we learned that in the golf industry, and we applied that technology to make a better buckle. And so we had an engineer recently told us, oh, your system's not very good. You can't do it for carrying guns. And I was like, this guy twisted this thing this much and the screws didn't break.
Dude, he was a big dude. You know that. Like, he just got out of his car and like, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. But he said, like, the keyword, he said, I was drunk and I don't know what happened.
Who knows? He probably swung it around, hit somebody.
I'd hate to fight this guy because if he did this by hand, that is just that's amazing.
He should hire him. He should be your bodyguard. That's cool though, because like at least he's like, I don't know. Here's like right now, some of you guys know, and I don't know when this is going to air, but like we're doing a big contest, right? Nexbelt with, is joining us on this. And, what's cool is like if you guys join my email list or, like I always respond and I always talk to my subscribers. And like somebody had said, like somebody actually commented on one of the brands that was in the contest. Not negative, right? It was actually a nice positive comment, but they said that, this brand should really do this thing, right? And it was like, I just replied, and then I actually forwarded to like the CEO of the company and be like, I bet you never get to see this, but this is a very good idea this person has. And they already own your product and they already are a fan, but they're saying like, this is what you guys need to do like to help you. And they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. Right? Because hearing from the voice of the consumer is worth millions dollars. Like really know what you're doing. I mean, without, I'll give you guys an example. Like today I was before the show, I was talking to Tom and I was like, hey, I got this idea. Let me show it to you. And he's like, even his feedback to me was like, I wouldn't do it like that. I was like, really? I was all excited. He's like, I wouldn't do it like that. And he's explained why. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Before I spent a bunch of time on something that maybe I thought was a good idea. I don't know. But I mean, that's always a big plus when somebody actually. So is your like guys warranty system then like pretty much just if there's something what's your return policy? Not return, but your warranty.
We have a 1-year warranty everything, but if it's something that's freaky, that's weird, that's we've never seen before,
you'll like, oh, yeah, we'll fix that. We'll
take care of it. We'll fix that. I mean, we've got warranty stuff that's a couple years old, 3 years old. Here's like first example of something that happened when we were in first year of business. We ordered some belts from a second company, and they used some cheap the teeth system on there.
Yeah, in the back of the belt. Yeah.
And they started failing after a year and a half. They would crack and break.
I'd be pissed.
We warrantied every single one of those out there, and we did our own pocket because that company refused to warranty it. So we went and did that, and we went back to the beginning and said, you know what was the problem? Okay, they use some cheap plastic. Everybody buys those plastic strips from the open market. You can buy them on the pennies because they're available everywhere, but you get a bunch of people building crap. So we wanted more control. So we went to a company that had nothing to do with the system and designed a plastic company. And we made out of nylon and a durable nylon.
You made your own?
We made our own. Oh, yeah. And because, we want control over that stuff as much as possible.
Right. You don't want like hidden oopsies by other brands that won't back up their product, or they buy cheap ass stuff. Like you think you have a good product. I mean, not saying you have a good product, but you think you have a good product from this company, and then they don't give it, and then you sell it. And then at the end of the day, you're holding the bag, right? Because somebody bought your product and they pay a fair price for it, and now it's broken, and you're like, what the hell? And it's like, okay, well, I either can piss this person off and say sorry, or just do the right thing and now re-engineer and figure out, because that's literally the backbone of your business, right? Like the belt, no pun intended, right? Like that it literally, if you look at that, is like, if that thing doesn't work, then you're undermining what you're doing.
Yeah. I mean, I told the people, the belt we have now is based on the failures of the past.
Of course. Yeah, it's awesome.
And, we've learned so much as we went along. So this will make it better, and continuously making it better. Always trying to make the thing lighter, better, stronger. I mean, we recently came with a hybrid system for the belts because, we love the magnet system because the magnet will never fail, But the spring system has a much more linear feel to it. It's not off on switch. It's more like smooth. And we went and combined those two together. And so it just makes a better, more reliable product. And that's just some things that we do. It's just, we're not engineers per se, but we know how to engineer the right stuff to make it work.
Well, you're problem solvers, right? Like that's all it is. You're just problem solving. You're like, okay, well, that's a problem, which we didn't think it was a problem. And how are we going to make this better? How are we going to make this right? And then spend the time, energy, and money doing it.
A lot of time.
Okay, so you guys started the boat company and it blew up, right? So what happened? When did you start making some money? When did you make more than $150 a year?
Okay, it was a boat trailer company. So the first year I paid myself $300. Okay,
but you started December 31st.
No, I started. Check this out. We started in March.
Oh my God!
Of 1993. Worked every single day for 6 months, doing 12 to 14-hour days. Eddie would work full time at his air conditioning company he works for. Then he would come in for another 3 to 4 or 5 hours after work, driving from Rancho Cucamonga to Riverside. So we did that for 6 months straight. Then finally said, okay, we went to 6 days a week, and I hired an employee. The next year we did better. I doubled my money. I paid myself $600.
Where were you living at this time? Were you living with your mom?
At that time, after the first
or the warehouse,
I moved back home to my dad because my parents were divorced. I moved back. That was just the most humbling experience to be 20 years old and moving back.
Dude, I had to do that once. It sucked.
This day and age, it's normal because the recession we recently had. During that time period, that was like, are you kidding me? I had friends who were like making 6 figures at that age.
You're making 6 figures. Family. You're making 600.
600, exactly. So
there's a 6 in there.
Yeah. So the next year I did better. I made like 18,000. The only reason I made 18,000 is because, and this time though, I had 9 employees, and I told Eddie, our business is growing. I need you in to help me. And he goes, well, I need to pay about $30,000 a year to pay all my bills. I said, okay. And that was like 6 months into the year. So I paid myself $18,000. I didn't cash one single check of that. Drove my sister crazy because
we're like all this money in the account, like, oh, we're rich.
Exactly.
And it's like, no, we're not rich. You're that guy.
She pulls me in the office and she says, are you cashing checks? I was like, no, I got a pile of them at home. She goes, you're throwing me off balance here.
Oh yeah, I bet. I hate that feeling.
She goes, cash it, and if we need the money for the company, you'll just pull it out. And so it was tough. One thing, here's my recommendation. Anybody who's trying to grow a new business for themselves, live a lifestyle that you can run into problems I remember watching an episode on the Shark Tank where a guy was trying to get money. He goes, how much, they asked, how much money do you need? He goes, well, I live this LA lifestyle. Yeah, that's not going to grow a company. You're going to have to sit there and eat, broth soup or like ramen soup to make it happen. I was fortunate. I moved back home with my dad. Didn't have to pay rent.
They make good soup.
I make phenomenal ramen soup. Trust you me.
It's like my college years.
But you got to do that. So we learned the same thing. So when we started Nexbelt, we had money, but we didn't want to go crazy. Like some company throwing a big building, signs and all this stuff. We wanted to see how it kind of grows still. So we started out.
So you treat it like a startup. Yeah. You treat it like you treated your boat company, but now you're not worried about not paying your bills, right?
Yeah. So we invested our money, and I didn't pay for Nexbelt. Eddie and I didn't pay ourselves the first 3 years. We didn't pay ourselves.
That's like me. I just
just what you're doing.
I don't pay anything. I roll it back into the business, whatever I make, and I'm, or to the company. Like I don't make a damn
exactly.
Time.
Yeah, we didn't pay ourselves till the 4th year, and I think we paid like $3,500 a month just to get some things going. So it's just being able to tighten down a little bit, and because I remember a long time when 9/11 hit. I remember we didn't want to lay off any employees in the business because it's hard to train employees. So we didn't pay ourselves for 6 months after 9/11 to make sure we didn't lay anybody off, and that allowed us to be stronger when we got through. We had some really good employees during that time. So it was funny because we paid my mom back in the first year because we didn't want to owe anybody money.
No, you want to own it. You don't want to be like you're not rich, right? Like, oh, we're making money. It's like you have debt. Pay the debt back. Now you're rich.
To me, it's like I've always been raised that, if I'm going to go buy a car, I have to make payments. When I was younger, I got to make payments. If I can avoid making payments, done. It's just, I hate the idea of owing money. We grew up poor. So it's not like, I'm not going to say poor. We're like, I always say we were upper, lower class.
Yeah, I was lower middle class,
right there.
Yeah.
So we worked our asses off for that.
I think it's like I don't know, like I'm Italian. I think it's like a, what would you call that? Like it's ingrained in you, right? Like that's how I was. My dad was an immigrant. Like he didn't speak English when he came here. He was 5 years old, right? So like it's just the same kind of thing. It's like you just work hard. You work hard and you figure it out, and that's it. Like I don't know. I know things have changed a lot in the world, but still, people want to know how you get successful. You work your ass off. Like that's pretty much it. And don't stop, or you can just party. But at some point, you're gonna run out of money.
But work your ass off and work smart, and learn from other people.
That's what I love about this. I learned so much from everybody I talk to. I was like, the stories I hear on this podcast, man, I was like, say what? Like, I didn't do nothing. I'll be straight with you guys. I knew nothing about Tom. Like seriously, I knew nothing. I talked to Tom lots of times. We've been friends for like 2 years almost, and I've never saw his face. Today's the first time, right? And then we started talking, and I was like, "Shut up! I didn't know that. Really? Like, I don't know. I just think it's so phenomenal when you hear these." I thought Tom was like, I don't know, somebody else, with the stories.
Yeah, I'm kind of hidden back. I let Eddie, my business partner, be the front person because he's the one that goes and meets Jim Furyk, Leishman. He talks to those guys because that's his passion. And, you're like the puppet master. Yeah, I'm a workaholic. I
you are
love creating. I love designing stuff, and then just
I love that. That's awesome.
I love the creative side of it. That's the best part of this company. I'll tell you right now. It's the creative side. For Eddie,
you guys are coming out some really cool stuff, dude. Like, when I first approached you guys, I'm like, oh, that's cool. It makes some golf belts. I'll talk to them. And then as I got to know you and like saw your products, I'm like, this is more than just a belt company. Like, this is not what I thought it was. I was like being surprised, and I don't know. I think you guys could have done that too. And I know who your competitors are because we've talked about them before, but I also know who they are because I've talked to them myself. And it's like it's a different level, right? Like, it's like, yeah, you can. It's not. I wouldn't even consider. Yeah, they make the same products as you or same core product, but they're not the same product, right? It's just that they have a different, I don't know, method to their marketing. Let's put it that way.
They do things differently. We're a little bit. We hold ourselves to a different. Not being snobbish, but we hold ourselves to a different standard of how we do our stuff. So our prices tend to be a little bit higher than other people, and
Hey, you get you pay for. That's what I tell people. Like,
yeah.
That's it. Sorry. Like, like a lot of these brands will have like that I work with, they'll have like an expensive product, right? They're like, oh, it's really expensive. I'm like, yeah, but it's not, and especially in the golf industry, like people are used to spending money. So nothing's cheap in golf, right? I mean,
it's a pretty pricey sport, hobby.
So then what year did you sell the company?
We sold that company in 2007. And that was like just when right after we sold, we signed the paperwork.
Oh, perfect timing.
3 weeks later, sales dropped 50%. And I was like, whoa. And we watched the layoffs. It was tough. I would tell you, that was really tough.
Because you were out. And then when you guys sold, did you have to stick around? Like,
oh, yeah. I stuck around because there's potential to grow the company. We just, this almost $1 billion company bought us out. And we saw potential to really grow it. We had vision of making this like a nationwide thing.
Yeah.
And then recession to make
and money was flowing like crazy in 05, 06. Like there was money coming out everywhere, especially I bet in that industry too, because everyone's like, oh, free money at my house.
Exactly.
I'll get a 5-year arm with, I'm going to cash out and I can get money with no information,
Yeah, they were thinking that money would never stop flowing. It was like crazy.
I remember those years.
But yeah, we got out, and I worked for them a little bit, but it's tough.
It's good that you sold a big company too, right? Because if it was like a smaller company or a new guys wanted to start it up, like you'd be like, oh, I feel so bad because they're gonna, but it's like
I still felt bad because it was like it was my baby. It was tough.
Your baby, it's your family.
Baby.
You built that family.
I described it this way: it was like handing off your daughter to the new to her husband.
Yeah.
And now he's gonna
go mess this up. I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah, but it failed miserably. I mean, sales dropped 95%. In 2008, 2009, we went from 75 employees down to like 7.
Oh my god!
And they said, you know what? Do you want out? And I said, yeah, yeah. So it was weird that day when I came out of the shower the next morning at 10 o'clock, and I was like, I'm retired. This feels cool.
Yeah, this is holy crap. I have money and I don't have to work. This is the best feeling in the world. This is what I'm waiting for. I'm not 100 years old.
But it only goes so far before you
get bored.
The passion side of creating something, creating something. We tried doing 3D glass. We hooked up some companies doing 3D glasses. And then when that 3D phenomenon for the movie theaters was getting really big.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
And then when the belt thing fell on our lap, it was like,
on a vacation. That you decided not to go to because you had a girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, plus they didn't go. Actually, it was true, but they didn't go back to where I was born. I mean, I was thinking, why would I go there? If they didn't go to the same place where I was born, and because it was one of those tour things. So, but I went back like 6 years ago. Took my mom, took my wife, and went through there.
I'd love to go to Vietnam. One of my good friends just moved to Thailand, like Chiang Mai, and I'm like, I want to go to Chiang Mai so bad. But like, yeah. That's funny though, that like you didn't go, but then he found, like, you never know what's going to inspire you. Like that's really what it comes down to. The thing is too, it's about timing, right? So had you guys not sold when you did, had the freedom and flexibility to do what you wanted to do, make good choices for, the first half of your career, right? With your money and your time to have, like, you probably would have seen that and been like, oh, it's a good idea. And then he would have gone back to work at the boat company, like
timing is everything. And, and it's what you make of it when it falls in your lap. Sometimes I've made mistakes, not making the right decision on things.
Yeah.
But fortunately, for the most part, we've made good decisions business-wise and.
Oh, that's cool.
So
then you guys sold the company, and then what happened? So did you initially, when you started Nexbelt, did you guys like outsource? Like, did you buy stuff from China, or did you start making it from the United States, or what? How did you guys get that process going? Since this belt technology is very, I know it's an Asian. It's very popular in Asia. Yeah. I know that. I mean, just from my own research and stuff. So
the problem is we've been trying to make more stuff in America, but the mold fees, it's like 20 to 30 times higher. So it's really difficult. And, here's this expectation of price, how much you want to spend for it, and what it costs in that to have it made in America and what it costs to make in Asia. It's two different animals. Those molds are so complex. I mean, because
I could imagine what you guys are building. It's not like you're just making a shirt with a screen print on it,
Just to give you an idea, just to make a mold for one buckle is around $50,000 here. Okay. $50,000. And that's not that you didn't go through the process of once it gets made to have it chromed and all that other stuff and putting it together. So that's just $50,000 for the mold. And then that doesn't include the cost of the strap, So
the plastic that you guys had to come up with, right?
Yeah.
Like all these things add up, and the labor, right?
Yeah.
That's just parts. Now you have the labor side of it and the branding.
Yeah. So what we've done is we try and integrate the two as much as possible.
Yeah.
We have we'll do some customers. We'll do 100%. I don't say 90% of the customization we do here in the States. But we do where we'll put buckles and straps together, and sometimes we'll have parts sent in where we'll install stuff together.
Yeah.
It's just I love being able to see hiring employees come in and watch them grow with us. And I remember when we first started, there were a bunch of junky cars out there. They were coming to work, and 4 or 5 years later, they're pulling in, nicer cars, brand new cars. And it's like we've done a good thing in helping both of us ourselves grow. So.
Yeah, they're like, and they're part of it. It's not just being part of the team. It's like you're part of the family. Like, that's the best feeling in the world when somebody cares about what you're doing, not because of they're getting paid for it, right? Yeah. Like that's not the like whenever I hire somebody, like that's what I'm looking more like. Do you have the same vision? And at the end of the day, do you care, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you the story for people. Like that was nothing more evident to me when I accidentally deleted my Google Drive about a year and a half ago. So I'm just telling you, it's very easy to delete a Google Drive and all your stuff. And there's no way of getting it back because I tried. And Google sucks for that reason. But it's okay because all that old content, whatever. But my team, like, it was the coolest thing in the world. Like everybody like stepped up, right? And they're like, oh, I have the window open still. I can still access the files. I'm like, seriously? And like people were trying to like save what they could, but I shouldn't really be telling the story, but oh well. I mean, it's cool when people actually care. They cared about me. Yeah. Like I have people on my team like blowing up freaking Google on Twitter and trying to get response from questions they're asking. Because you would think like you accidentally delete it. The moment you hit delete, it's gone supposedly from the whole world, which is complete bullshit. I'm sorry. Because what if like I'm like some kind of guy that's like a disgruntled employee, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna screw up Nexbelt. They have a Google Drive. Yeah. I'm gonna delete the whole account, everyone's email. You tell me that you can't get it back? No. But they wouldn't. So just letting you guys know, don't delete your Google Drive. It is possible. But yeah, but that's the best feeling, right? When people actually care about the brand and want you to grow. What other industries are you in right now then when it comes to belts?
Well, we do the EDC, like the gun belts, like police officers. I got a bunch of friends that are police officers, and they were always belts that screamed off duty when they're off duty that they were police officers.
Off duty.
Yeah, like, dude, I know you're carrying a gun. So we designed some really nice belts for them when they go on dates with their wives or girlfriends, or they go.
You're screaming cop, dude.
So we designed a lot of belts they can carry the weight and still blend in. And that's gone really well for us. And, we have another line we're trying to, we talk about American made belts.
Yeah.
It's called Roland Thomas. We import Italian, high premium cowskin Italian leathers to the United States. And we have the straps made here. And, they're really nice. They're pricey, but the quality, look at that. just for example, on the Serpent, it's when you
So
go
here, I
bend-
just pulled it up for you guys for the video. So
yeah, you're gonna have to go to
the menu.
go to the menu, not the menu. I'm sorry. Go to the banner and just hit the banner, and it should go to because it's on a different site.
Look how cool the site looks, you guys. They don't cut corners. This is badass. Is it?
Nope.
That's not
just,
it. That's your everyday ones. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's our day one. I guess we took the banner down to do some other stuff, but it's RolandThomas.com, and what it is just really gorgeous belts.
Here it is, right here.
There it is. Yeah, you can click on that little catalog right there.
This is their catalog for Roland Thomas. There's a picture of Tom leaving his Ferrari.
I wish I was that good looking. That's a friend of ours, Joe.
Is that LA or is that New York? It looks like New York.
New York.
Yeah. Oh, these are like quality. These are like high quality belts. Like this isn't, like this is.
Yeah, that Serpent line right there.
Oh, that's sick.
We buy the leather, and when you roll that leather, it scales. The scales come up. It's not a true lizard or snake skin, but it's emulated. That you have a person with a knife cutting every single one of those.
Shut up.
Seriously. They do it at the factory for us.
Cool.
They cut all that stuff up. Then we cut it down to make this. I mean, they're just beautiful, beautiful belts.
That's crazy. I mean, this is beautiful. I mean, like, you would never know in a billion freaking years that this is a ratchet belt, you guys. Look at the front, right? Like, it's like a normal belt. It looks beautiful and high end, like super high end, right? And then the back are like, holy crap, it's a ratchet. Like nobody does that. Nobody. This is awesome. I got an email the other day from Tom, and I'm like, who the hell is Roland Thomas? And I'm like, what is this? And he's like, oh, it's one of our brands. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like now I'm like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah. The other thing we also do is the ratchet caps, where we have the ratchet technology to the back of the cap.
Where's that at? Oh, really? On a hat?
On a hat, yeah.
No joke.
It makes the hat. When you wear those flex hats, I remember when they first came out, I was playing baseball in college, and everyone was so excited about it. But after 3-4 hours, man, I was getting a headache because the pressure that's constantly around your head.
Yeah.
And with that hat, with a ratchet system hat, you can make it tight or loosen it.
In like 2 seconds.
Yeah, you just touch the button, release it.
It's not that cheesy like leather strap crap, right? You know what I'm saying? No. The real, you know what I'm talking about? Like you get those cheesy, like bad leather strappy
this is
thing.
Really nice stuff. And the cool part is like we have a beanie that goes with it. So if you're golfing during the colder season, you want your ears to be warm, cool. Just pull the beanie over and the hat goes right over the beanie without any problem, because it's like one size fits all, kind of the same philosophy we have with with our belts.
You guys make cool stuff. I mean, look at your site looks awesome. I'm always like a website snob. And
my guys work really hard on that.
But
we do a lot of stuff that's never been done before, by the way. We're the first to do a ratchet ribbon belt. And we're the first to do...
I want to see this. Like this? Like this EDC is a ribbon belt? Or no?
No. If you scroll up, go down. I'm sorry, go down.
Uh-huh.
And go... Yeah, stop right there. See that flag?
Yeah, the U.S. flag one?
No. That one right there is like a red flag.
Oh, yeah. Right here.
Those are ribbon belts. They're really popular in northeast and down south. And we're the first ever to do that. We could put logos on that for people. And we're the first to do these new braided belts. That's really popular.
You know what's really getting popular is like needlepoint belts.
Yeah, that's going to be on our target here down the line. But we do a lot of customization. So if you work for a company that they make great gifts for people.
Yeah.
The logo on there. We also customize where we'll put person's initials on there and we'll put on the ball marker for them. So we do a lot of customization, a lot of cool stuff. But our line, we have the most extensive ratchet belt line in the world.
Oh, you guys did this? This is cool as hell, man. Uh-huh. What a cool shot. Whoever had that idea was brilliant.
I did this American flag out of the real leather belts using blue leather, red and white leather. And I built it for our top 3 selling stores in the United States, golf shops, and they had it all framed. They loved it. I mean, I loved it. I need to make one for myself for the shop, but just so
that's cool. You're with Kevin Na. I like Kevin Na, dude.
Yeah, Kevin's a great guy. Like I said, Eddie hangs around with Kevin. He gets to talk to Jim. I met Jim once to introduce myself. Next year, I've tried to get at the LA Opens. I try to, hey Jim, and he goes, I'm sorry, I have to get to the next hole. I had my Nexbelt hat on, my Nexbelt shirt, my Nexbelt
He's
jacket.
Like, but I'm Tom.
He didn't even recognize me. And I was like, and he was very polite.
Yeah, he's cool as hell. Like I have another friend of mine who works with Jim, and like, I mean, Jim's on they text each other, like they're partners on a deal, and he says nothing but awesome things about Jim. Jim's like the nicest, coolest man like in golf, like seriously. And he's just
He is.
a good dude.
You know,
I
did
like
you see-
Kevin Na. I follow Kevin Na on Instagram, dude. He just seems like a guy I could hang out with. You know what I mean?
is.
Like he
is
just
laid
seems like
back. He's funny.
he's a normal
jokester.
guy. Like there's a picture of him and his wife at like some restaurant in Vegas, and I was like, that's like me and my wife. You know,
He
like
loves to eat.
does he? I
Yeah.
want to meet Kevin Na. I think Kevin Na's cool.
He used to be locally. You had more access to him, but since he's moved to Vegas, and, he's
Oh,
out
is that
there
where he's
more.
at? I know he
Yeah.
lived in Vegas. I thought he was just in Vegas, like at Bellagio. That's where it was this week. Yeah, but look at these belts, you guys. Okay, I want to show you my favorite belt. This is the freaking coolest belt of all time, the Fast Eddie, and that's why I like calling.
That one's the go in color. Fast A's go down a little bit further.
Let's
Scroll
even
down.
further. What's this then?
That's the go in. That's one that's just a ball marker.
Oh, the Fast Eddie. Where's the Fast Eddie?
Fast A's that one right there. We're
Can we
missing
have
a
a picture of it opened up? You need to have a picture of it
You
opened
know,
up.
hey, that's a big mistake. We used to have that.
That's sorry. You can see how like this is all spontaneous to show, right? Like, and I know his brand, so I'm like, you need to have a picture of the Fast Eddie because the Fast Eddie. I have a picture. Do I have a Fast Eddie here still?
And we're doing Ryder Cup stuff. You know,
Oh, you are?
For a small company like us, you know, at the world that we've had a couple
that
events
ratchet,
where
right?
we've had like Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, they all wear our belts at these events. So for a little,
You gotta get pictures of that, dude.
we do. We've posted it. We have to be very judicious with it because we don't want to sit down and offend them or anything. And get
You're gonna piss them off. Like, I'm not wearing that dude's stuff.
yeah. What happens? I mean, it's like, for example, here's a
Oh,
little
this is
story.
cool as hell. Desert Mountain, that's here.
Yeah.
Sorry. I want to hear your
Nope.
story.
Well, it's like, I don't know if I can say the name of the golfer.
You can say a golfer on the tour.
Yeah, a golfer on the tour was with us, and he signed a huge contract with this company, but he wanted to continue wearing our belt. He fought for us. He goes,
Oh, that's
I want,
cool.
because he uses the Fast Eddie, and the company said, no, we can't have, you have to wear our belt. He goes, nope, I got to wear Nexbelt. So the compromise was that he would wear Nexbelt, but we would make special ones with their logo on it for him.
That's really cool.
So the guy's like, he's a huge player, and great
So I have a
guy.
friend, and this is very funny because you told me this story. I have a friend who owns a golf belt company for custom belts, right? And he told me a similar story because he was the first guy to actually like make belts because he was already a tour player and he was wearing belts on the tour. And his friends were like, hey, you should make a belt just for us, right? And so he made a belt, and the same thing happened to him where like, you know, they wore their belts for free. Like Ricky wore his belt, a bunch of people wore his belt. And then all of a sudden, certain brands are sponsoring guys, and then as part of that contract, they purposely said the belt is part of it. And but they're like, but you don't make belts, right? Like that's not part of the attire. And so they put that in his contract, so those guys can't wear his belts anymore. And some of them still did, but I mean, it's still kind of shady, right? Like, come on, really, you
That's
guys?
tough. We got about 40 guys on the tour wearing our belts.
Like crap, man. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's just they just love it.
It's a cool belt. It's easy to put on and off. Like I hate belts. Belts suck. You know what I mean? When you have to like put the hole, and then you get fatter, and you got to put a bigger hole in it, and then you're like,
Now,
or small.
what you're looking at is our golf brochure. We also have the dress belt brochure where we have like our new suede belts and dress belts for going out or
I'm gonna
going
go
to
to
the
that.
office.
Yeah. Is it the men's belts or the?
Go down to that. You can go to there's another catalog down there. That
Dress
one right-
catalog?
Yep, that's right there.
Yeah, it's cool. Oh my gosh, they're so nice. I need some more Nexbelts, you guys. Come on. I only got a couple and I wear them like all the time. I could be your spokesmodel. I'll be like, I'm Paul. Look at my belt with my with my workout shorts.
Yes. Hey, my nieces were working for us. I still have one, but it had like 3 nieces working for us.
Yeah.
And after working for us, they started noticing belts on guys. But they said it was such an uncomfortable feeling because they get the feeling that guys were thinking they were looking at their crotches when they were looking at the belt.
Oh, so those guys were feeling uncomfortable.
Those guys are like, oh, this girl likes me because they're looking at my crotch. Well, they said, Uncle Tom, it's really tough. I feel like a perv or something.
These are nice belts, man. I don't know. Look, it's so quality. It doesn't even look like you would never know in a million years these are ratchet belts. You would just think that this is a very nice high-end belt. I don't know.
Out there, if you're not familiar with ratchet belts, they see you adjust in quarter-inch increments, so they're the most comfortable belt out there. You know, you can just your stomach's changing throughout the day, and you just change it with the belt and just click a couple buttons and loosen it up after a big meal, after you go to the bathroom.
Dude, I love your
tighten it
belts.
back up.
Like you guys, like seriously, Nexbelt's a real deal. Like this isn't like seriously.
Oh, see right there, these braided belts right here. We're the first one in the world to do that. And the new 2021 design, we made the tip the leather tip even smaller.
Oh, here.
And
That's cool.
and we have some cool designs out there. Oh, and we got these new coming out. They're called the Liberty belts.
This is so cool because you're like all excited. This is what I love about this show, man. It's like you could tell he's passionate about what he's doing. He's like, oh, I got these really cool belts coming out. Like this is what he loves to do. Oh, it's really cool. I love that right there. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, go scroll down. See that USA flag tip belt?
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
We're doing a variation of that. It is just drop dead killer. I'm going to get you up here when we get them all in. You're gonna. This will be like your go-to wear when you're on the golf course because we're probably going to give it to some of the big players to wear at the championship events, wearing the America against the world type situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you guys make such. I mean, look at what's cool is like they care about the leather, the style. It's not like, oh, they're making a ratchet belt made of leather. Look, oh, it's just one style. It's just black or it's just brown. It's like they're making high quality, high end product with different styles of leather. Plus the belt buckle. There's like so many different kinds of customizations you can have, right? Like with the belt buckle. But I wish I could show them. So listen, they have this thing called the Fast Eddie, which we're like, what does it have in it? So everybody knows. It looks like a freaking superhero's belt buckle.
It has a hidden ball marker. Plus it has a divot fixer. That's also a bottle opener. We call it our golfer survival tool.
It's so cool. It's like so freaking innovative. I mean, it's like the coolest thing in the world. But then is that what guys use on the tour or is that what guys are using? The other one on the tour?
They use a combination of the go in and the regular dress belts. The one that the guy I was telling you about, the big name, he's probably like top 30 player in the world. At one point he was like top 5. He uses the Fast Eddie all the time.
Oh, that's cool. Now are you sponsoring them or are they just using it because they love your belt?
99% of those, they love the use of the belt. The only one we've sponsored is Jim.
Yeah.
Everybody else, they do it for gratis because they like
the belt.
Us. They like the belt and they like us because we go out of our way to accommodate them when they need it, and we support some of their charities.
And you're good people, but see, that's the thing. Like
we try to be good people.
Like it's a good relationship, and that's why they do it. You know, like they want to support you. They love your product, and they want to support you. And then sometimes it's not always about the money. So like that's.
Well, it's funny. The gentleman that I was telling you about, we were paying him in the beginning a small amount, and after the first year, he said, "Don't even worry about it," because he really enjoyed working with Eddie, and he was winning big time. And he says, "Look, this is just like nothing to me. I want to support your company.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And let's just don't worry about it." And we said, "Okay, I'll tell you what, we'll do things. We'll go and support your charity. Let's make some belts for your charity at your events and all that stuff." He goes, "That's great. Just do that then."
That's so cool.
It's we have a few like that. So it's a great feeling when you go and somebody says to you, "You know what? We like you as a person. Let's just continue going this path and not worry the other route."
Yeah, it's all making about a transaction, right? Yeah. That's how you and I met. It wasn't about a transaction. It's more about like, hey, I like what you're doing, and I like, and as I got to know you, I'm like, oh yeah, he's my friend, and that's really what it is. I mean, that's the best part about what we're doing together. So, I mean, Nexbelt, you guys are much bigger than just a belt company, I feel like. And I feel like you're touching so many. The belt is such a universal product that you don't have to just be like, oh, we're the golf belt company. It's like, no, we make golf belts. Yeah, but we also make all different other kinds of lines. So, I mean, I think, you guys are awesome. You guys make cool stuff. I mean, look at this technology, you guys. Look at this. This is so cool. Like, they use a stainless steel head. The stainless steel screws. There's their little ratchet part that you pop it on and off, and then it just goes in these little clips. And that's and for you guys watching on the YouTube, like here's that thing he was talking about where they end up just redesigning it themselves and making it because the brand that was making it for them was not doing a good job. So, I mean, what kind of company does that? I mean, nobody, right? So definitely you guys need to check out Nexbelt. They're awesome. And Tom is, I really appreciate you being on the show today. I know you're a very busy man, and thank you for working with us.
Nice catching up.
I know, right? I haven't talked to you forever. So. All right, cool. Well, thanks for being on the show, and let's catch up soon.
All right.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Behind the Golf Brand Podcast.
You're going to beat me at golf?
Stay connected on and off the show by visiting golfersauthority.com. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment.
Golf is always more fun when you win.
Stay out of the beach and see you on the green.